All right, everyone. Welcome to the virtual players meeting for the 2021 Fellowship of the Fling. Really excited to be hosting this event in Timber. Thanks to everyone who signed up for the event. It's going to be a good turnout. Really looking forward to it. Looks like the weather's going to be pretty nice this weekend. I think there'll be a little rain Friday, but Saturday, Sunday seem to be some nice mild weather. Um, that being said, everything is staked out at the course as of today. Still need to have some basket positions moved around, and I'll talk about those as we go through the holes. But they will be moved tomorrow sometime. So, all right. Well, let's get into it. Like I said, excited to be having this at Timber Park. I think this is the first event at Timber Park since COVID kind of struck the world. Um, that being said, COVID is, all protocols are in effect. Masks will be worn around Tournament Central. Don't congregate in large groups. Keep your social distancing going, uh, especially with kind of stuff that's come down from the Oregon government, kind of putting some of the counties into higher restrictions. It doesn't pertain to us for this event just due to the fact that it's parks and it's an outdoor event, so we're lucky, but we want to keep this going. We don't want to have any effects on future events at Timber. I know that there's a couple events scheduled coming up, so we want to be respectful, be good stewards and let everybody show that we are using protocols for COVID and just keep the tournaments rolling for this summer. Okay. That also, tee times are up. If you see anything, notice anything weird, somebody's for some reason their name had dropped off one digit with the PDGA number, switched them to somebody else. So if you still see your name on there, please get a hold of me, let me know so we can fix that. Other than that, tee times are up for the first day. Um, Show up no earlier than 30 minutes before your tee time. AMs, show up, check in, we'll get your players pack. Then you can maybe go over to the putting basket, warm up, do whatever you got to do, hang out. We'll call you right before. Keep wearing your mask, like I said, around Tournament Central. Once you're out in small groups, if your group feels comfortable about, social distancing and whatnot, I'd leave that to your own decisions out there. All right, so um, let's get into it. All right. Oh, yep. It's a good time that this popped up. A good plug for Matt from Treasures of the Forest. He was able to graciously squeeze us in for this tournament and get trophies slash minis made, mini trophies for the event. If you're not familiar with Matt's work, he does amazing thing with resins and natural stuff he finds around the woods, burls from different things, beehives, different types of conifers and stuff like that. It's fantastic, absolutely beautiful work. Trophies for all divisions. Pro, I only got trophies for first place. This one here is for MPO. It's might be the best looking one of all. So some talented individual is going to walk away with this. Super stoked to be able to offer these, and plan is to keep using Matt going forward for any tournament I host. They're just too gorgeous. Okay, let's get into hole one. All right, so hole one for the event, we'll be starting on, for those of you familiar with Timber Park, we'll be starting on natural hole three. So 407 feet about, par three, baskets in the long position. Mando, there's a Mando tree right in front of the tee pad. Um, you've got to stay right of that tree. There's railing that goes along the right side. That railing is out of bounds. Somewhere about halfway down the railing, right before the road splits, I've added in flags and kind of extended that out of bounds out a little bit farther than it normally would be. Other than that, if you missed that Mando off the tee pad, advance to the drop zone. The drop zone's marked, and it's just right up next to the Mando tree. Other than that, pretty typical timber, hole three, or as we'll call it, our hole one. Um, Other than that, if there's any questions, feel free to post them up in the little chat section or give me a call. Other than that, we'll continue on. Um, Hole two, which is timber hole four, it's going to be in the right position. I guess that'd be called the long position. It's in the right position. Uh, There will be OB marked left, as you can see on there, marked in between a couple trees, and OB right, which is typically the normal railing there. We've added in some flags just to kind of help differentiate, any weird calls. Uh, OB, or I'm sorry, drop zone. There's a Mando tree up here. It will be clearly marked with tape. If you miss that off the tee pad, proceed to the drop zone. The drop zone is right next to, there's a stump right in the middle. It's a marked drop zone. You'll see it pretty easy. Other than that, pretty normal hole, nothing crazy. Um, on to hole three. Um, Hole three, par three, 290 feet. The basket's in the long position. We've got it staked off OB long. That's just to keep out of 20s fairway. Um, Other than that, shouldn't come into play unless you go pretty deep. But other than that, it's nothing special. Hole four. So hole four, it's I think it's been played this way in a couple of different events, but maybe not. So we'll be teeing off of uh, what would be normal sixes tee pad, but we'll be playing the 19s basket. Um, it's going to be a par three, 402 feet. The only OB on this hole is if you go over, I mean, just straight into 19 and 20s fairway. Um, Other than that, um, I have circle one marked out on almost all the holes on the course with white paint. Um, this is one of them. It was a little too tough to mark out, so we will have a string attached to the base of the basket for those who need to measure circle one. Um, and I'll mention that on the holes. It's listed on the sheet, but I'll mention it going through. So hole five, par three, it's going to be in the long position. We have some stakes on the left side of the fairway marking OB left. That's just to keep you out of another fairway. Also, long and kind of right of the basket, we have some flags back there too. That's just to keep you off of out of sixes, tee pad and fairway. So, like I said, stakes are up, everything's up. You can go take a look at it, but if you go that long, you're just trying to keep speed of play, trying to keep everybody out of others' fairway. Also on this hole, the hyzer is a shot for a lot of right-hand, backhand players. Just be aware that there's another tee pad here, so just be cautious. We don't want to hit anybody out there. And that's hole five. Hole six, which is it's a normal hole eight for timber. The basket is going to be on the road, the long road position. OB, uh, see right here it says OB left marked by railings. That should say OB right. I will make the correction on that one. Let me just make a note right here. So OB right marked by the railings. Like I said, we've added in some flags, every couple, 6 or 10 feet or so, just to kind of help differentiate in case if something's gone out. Um, Other than that, normal hole. Hole seven. Hole seven is going to be in the long position. This would be timber nine. We have OB flags on the left. Right is going to be OB on or over road. Uh, we have tagged a couple little, spray painted a couple of dots here and there on the road just to kind of differentiate. But OB on or over road shouldn't come into play too much. OB left, there's a definite flag line in there. Other than that, there is the little uh, utility building that's stuck in the middle. Uh, and I'll add it to the sign, but we're gonna call that out of bounds if you land on the roof or inside of there. So if you do, go ahead and figure out where it went out. New rules. You can take your lie quite a ways back since you went OB, but we don't want to have anybody crawling in and out of there. So if you do lose a disc in there and you can't get it with a grabber or something like that, just leave it. We'll grab it at the end of the day. We'll get the timber staff to get us in there. We'll get your disc back and have them ready for you the next day. We don't want to be crawling around in there and get into something we're not supposed to. So other than that, that's hole seven. And on to hole eight. All right, hole eight is normal 10. This is kind of it's an island hole in a way around the green, but I have left enough inbounds area up by the tee pad for those that might not have the arm or even just want to go for the gusto. So if you want to go for the island, run it. If you don't land in the island, you'll take it from the first spot that you went OB right around here. This hole 8, T sponsored by Jeff Goldspink. If you don't know Jeff, you're not living a good clean life. Jeff's a good dude. So Jeff says go for the island. So thanks for sponsoring the hole, Jeff. But also this circle up here that's marking the island area. It's just the island area is just a couple feet past circle 1, and it also is not a true circle. In order to keep everybody out of the next fairway, it kind of cuts in a little bit right here. So like I said, it's flagged and marked out. So if you got time, check it out. Show up a little early, walk it, and see what's going on. But other than that, it should be a fun hole and provide people the opportunity to play it safe if they want. All right, hole 9. All right, so hole 9, we're gonna have it in the long uphill position. That's awesome position. One of the best positions at Timber. Unfortunately, they don't have it too very often. I think it's tournaments only. So only OB on this one. We're going to keep the railing OB, and that's just keeping out of another fairway, and to try and keep you from hitting these poor people that'll be teeing off on hole 1. Uh, I do have a net that I'm going to bring and try and hang up there to protect those folks. But the railing, and we have it marked off, and past that, anything road and beyond. So all should be clearly marked. Other than that, it's a really fun hole. I'm expecting, some of the hoping to see some twos come out of this one from some of the big arms. But yeah, it's a treat to have it in this position. So all right, then this is another one. It was really hard to spray paint a circle for circle 1, so we attached another string to the base of it, or we will have attached a string the day of, so you can measure circle 1 for those of you that need that. So other than that, that's hole 9. Hole 10, creek hole. So typical, you got to be, there's a mando tree right at the tree. We have a nice out of bounds line staked along the river. Um, Anybody that misses the mando off the tee, um, proceeds to the drop zone. The drop zone is right next to the mando tree, and it's clearly marked. Uh, Other than that, it's a pretty typical natural hole 12 or hole 10 for the tournament. So if there's any questions, feel free to ask. Hole 11. This is another one that another position it's not in all the time, but it's quite a treat. It's in the uphill long position. The only OB on this one is if somehow you end up on or over the left road. Who knows, bad roller or something like that. But if it does happen, just to keep speed of play and not getting somebody else's fairway, we're going to call that OB. I don't see it coming into play. Other than that, there's no other specifics for this hole. So, like I said, another treat. All right, so hole 12. Hole 12 is going to be a little different. I've got a temp tee pad that's marked out by 14's, normal 14's basket, double mando, which will be marked. The two trees that are double mando are right up next to, uh, this is what would be the normal tee pad for this 15. So double mando through there. The basket's going to be in the long position. Um, Anything over the fence, uh, right fence is going to be OB. But other than that, um, I don't have anything specific. I noticed that I don't have OB right of the fence marked down. So let me just make a note and I'll fix that. Uh, We do have there is OB left, and it's marked out by the flags. It's just once again just to try and speed things up and keep fairways separated. So other than that, if there's any questions, like I said, I'll add in descriptor of right fence being OB, but that fence shouldn't come into play really. But other than that, let's move on to hole 13. Hole 13, sponsored by Jory's Fly Dye. Thank you, Jory. Jory's posting up a CTP for this, and the CTP open for all divisions. Things get custom dyed disc. Excited to see it. Um, OB left marked by flags. OB right of fence on this one. We've also put a little OB in between two trees just along of the basket, and that's just to keep you out of hole 14's business. You know, they'll be teeing off right from there, so shouldn't come into play, but you know, that way if you do, not trying to putt from their from their tee pad or anything. So that's hole 13. Thanks again, Jory. Appreciate the whole sponsorship. Hole 14, it's in the stumps position, I guess, or Fred's hole, as I believe it's called. Um, you know, I didn't know Fred, but you know, this is a neat hole, and you know, definitely was a good addition and a good way to remember somebody. So it's a fun hole to play. Um, this is another one that we couldn't mark out the circle, just too many trees back there. So once again, a circle will be back there. Other than that, no special rules for this hole. Let's move on to hole 15. So hole 15. Um, It's just normal 18. I like to call this hole 2 or a 6 because it's the only hole scores I ever seem to get on this one. Um, so once again, pretty straightforward. Um, no OBs on this one. Even if you do cross into 19's natural fairway, you know, we're not going to be playing uh, from that point on the tee pad, so I'm not making that out of bounds. Um, The fence on the right shouldn't come into play, but if it does, we're going to make that out of bounds. Other than that, it's a pretty straightforward hole. All right, hole 16. All right, so hole 16, uh, it's a combination of 19 and 20, natural 19 and 20. We won't be teeing off from 19's tee pad. We'll be teeing off from the road quite a ways down. Um, you will be teeing off from out of bounds. So if you do not cross inbounds anytime off your drive, we're going to proceed to the drop zone, a marked drop zone, which is going to be natural 20's tee pad. I'll have it marked out as a drop zone. It is not marked drop zone yet. Other than that, there's a OB is staked on the left side. Kind of follows the typical, you know, kind of poles and pylons that are out there. But we've added in, you know, flags here and there just to kind of help differentiate what it is. On the right side, it's going to be road and beyond. There's a gravel in between the road that kind of gives a little grace between the road and these Jersey barriers. We're going to keep that, allow that to be inbounds. You know, so just know that. Um, One of the reasons I kind of moved this up from 19's tee pad is in an effort to really keep out of the quarry area to the right. I think it's quarry area. But if you do happen to have a disc that goes over there, leave the disc over there. Don't go crawling in or under the fences. We'll make arrangements to get it back. Uh, yeah, we don't want to, you know, just want to be respectful. That's not Timber Park's property. We don't want to be crawling around there. Like I said, just leave it there. You know, if you can slide a grabber under and grab it and make it something simple, you know, go for it. But don't be crawling over the fences and get there. Just leave it. We'll make arrangements in between days. You'll have it for the next day. So other than that, um, basket is in the right position. Haven't seen it there in a while, but decided to leave it there. I think it'll make it a nice, challenging par four. So other than that, let's move on to the next hole. Hole 17. So hole 17 will be paying from 21's tee pad to 1's basket. The parking lot down on the right is going to be closed off. So if your disc lands in the parking lot, it's out of bounds. There's also a stake line to the left. It was for uh, another another hole, but we're going to play it as OB. If you do happen across that, you can see where the tree where it starts shouldn't really come into play. Once you get up to the basket, the two trees that are kind of in front of the basket that'll be marked, those are Mando trees. You have to go in between them. It kind of cuts off the hyzer angle. You need to come through the two trees, and like I said, they will be marked. Um, Other than that, that's hole 17, and which brings us up to hole 18. So hole 18, yeah, this is a little different than what I said it was going to be. I was out marking stuff today and kind of playing it, and decided to change it up a little bit. So we're going to play this. This is almost like a river hole instead of an island hole. Um, Tee pad is not the normal twos tee pad. It's off to the right. I pulled it over there to kind of prevent interference from hitting the tree and shanking it and going off and hitting people that would be teeing off of hole two or natural forest fairway. It always seems to kind of be a mess when there's two people going both way or having to wait. So it's over to the right. It's marked out already. Um, Anything from the fence line all the way down the road on the right uh, is out of bounds. So if it's past that stake line on the right and beyond, it's out of bounds. Now this area up here that separates the two, kind of splits the fairway or splits the two hole positions, that is only on out of bounds if you land on that section of the road. Um, it's flagged on both sides, so it's clear to know. So that way you can lay up if you want, and then go to it, or you can go for it and make it or don't make it. But I figured this would make it a little bit more fair to some of the folks that couldn't might have a hard time getting to this being a straight island hole. So call me a softie or whatever you want, but should still be a fun hole played like this. Other than that, that is that's our virtual players meeting. Those are the holes. Um, we'll have all these T signs will be up. They're not up yet. I'll be putting them up tomorrow. I didn't want to put them up too early. Um, but like I said, um, should be a fun event. I'm excited about the players packs. Other than that, once again, thanks to all our whole sponsors. Oh, I forgot to mention this one, Scott Smith. So Scott Smith, stand-up dude, been playing. I've known him for a little bit now. Runs Blue Lake Dubs. Dyeing up a custom disc for this one and giving it away for it. It's open for all AM divisions. So yeah, sorry Scott, I kind of got caught up in the whole description, but thank you very much, Scott. If you guys don't know Scott, meet him. It's a worthwhile dude to know. Very very good people. So, like I said, thanks to everybody for signing up for the event. If you got any questions or see anything, post up, shoot me a text, shoot me an email, and I'll get back to you. Other than that. Hopefully they get the basket swapped over early enough tomorrow for people to practice. If not, it'll all be the same for everyone. Um, I'll be out there tomorrow, kind of touching up some paint and stuff and looking around. Looking forward to seeing everyone. Once again, thank you very much for signing up for the event. I'm hoping to make it the best event I possibly can. Other than that, let's have some fun out there, and I'll see you Saturday. Thanks.